Hey, what's going on, class? This is Derek Green, and I'm doing my Ignite presentation. And my presentation is the basis of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I'm actually trying to get a new division, a new hip hop division started. So here we go. Hip hop has been around since the late '70s and was popular at dance parties and nightclubs. The hip hop culture has been growing in its popularity ever since that time. It has opened up many different doors for b-boys, for break dancers, and for artists, or better known street artists, or also called graffiti artists. Um, Hip hop music has been a combination of music, including jazz, some soul, little gospel and reggae songs. This was like more different. This was a new wave, and no one could have ever predicted how much hip hop would have grown on mainstream markets. As far as you know, now it's on every radio station. Now it's the most popular um, form of music there ever is. So, what hip hop contributes is basically good things and good aspects. What hip hop contributes to some of the early groups of hip hop have been inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, but they say that they're honored, but they still feel like they don't or ever made rock and roll music. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is my idea. It gives these iconic artists the recognition they need and they deserve with all the right titles behind it. A new hip hop division of the Roll Hall of Fame um, is basically my idea. So none of these iconic artists, hip hop artists like Jay Z, Tupac, Biggie, Big L, they don't go down in history, feeling that their attributes were not dedicated and that they didn't go unnoticed. Um, Hip hop breakthrough. Like I said, hip hop has came a long way since the days of the Fab Five. You have Busy B, Dougie Fresh. It's come a long way since those days. Back then, it was more so street performances or late night venues performances. But now that hip hop has crossed over into more commercial aspects, you can see it in many different places. Hip hop is being used currently in commercial ads, movie soundtracks, and scores. It has even been cited in kid shows like Sesame Street. Hip hop has influenced many generations with the new wave of musical acts. It seems like hip hop is going to be a staple, and it is going to be here to stay. So um, we just want to all just recognize, the contribution that hip hop is doing, and we're just trying to take it to the next level. Okay, so hip hop has brought on dance and talent shows where everyone in culture expresses their love for hip hop. You got AB Dacey, America's Next Top model, where you can hear little snippets of hip hop going down the runway, to America's Next Top Dance Crew, where they're dancing, battling off against each other with various hip hop and electronic genres of music. So it has made a breakthrough, and we just here in my presentation, I just want to show everybody that we can get these influential artists the recognition they deserve through this hip hop Hall of Fame division at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Hip hop culture is big now. Like I said, it's more so iconic at this point. It's crossing over into dancing. It's crossing over into fashion. A lot of artists are developing their own fashion gear or clothing line. They're developing their own skateboards, where specific skaters can use their their type of brand. So pretty much, it's branding itself and it's kind of rebranding itself like skateboarding, for instance. That's kind of a new fad, a new wave in hip hop. It used to be skaters were different from hip hop, but now since the emergence of Lupe Fiasco's Kicks Pusher Skate song and Lil Wayne's Truck Fit, which is outfit clothing line designed directly towards skaters, it seems like hip hop and skater culture are kind of massing and becoming its own subculture, if you will, of the hip hop brand. Um, Hip hop has been heavily in art and dance since the 80s. They used it in heavy street signs, aka tagging, aka graffiti. The development of dance crews, dance game. They had battle rapping, Def Jam poetry, which also included some hip hop. Lyrical stand fronts, and people would battle against each other to see who got the number one position. I mean, it's kind of just crossing over many different genres. It's not just categorized to one thing. Hip hop continues to thrive and lead a new wave for new art and fashion. So currently, hip hop is in everything we see, we do, we hear, we wear. The hip hop generation and genre is never dies, and it only revamps itself. It only revitalizes itself. So that's why a lot of people say that hip hop is here to stay. It's only going to change in different forms. So that's why I believe this will be actually good for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to get on this now and sign the hip hop division. So that way, all of these long term artists can already get their recognition, and they already were prepared for the new age and new generation artists to come and get their recognition as they move up in the music industry. Artists, we do want to have a criteria for the inductees. Like I said, we want to have artists be a big part of the hip hop community. We don't want to just say any artist can come and, join, the famous greats. Of course, you have to have some type of structure. So artists must be on billboards and many other record charts. Artists must be first nominated by the industry peers. Artists must be willing to accept this award publicly. Artists must have, contributions to their communities, as well as music that is loved for over generations to come. Um, right now, the hip hop artists that are currently in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame include Public Enemy, Beastie Boys, Run DMC, Grandmaster Flash, and the Furious Five. You do have some kind of crossover pop artist icons such as Michael Jackson, but like I said, most of these earlier hip hop groups, as far as Public Enemy and Beastie Boys, Run DMC, although they did contribute to some crossover hip hop songs, especially Run DMC when they made their famous hit with Aerosmith, Walk This Way. That did break and shatter records, but still, these artists feel like they are not part of the rock and roll genre, and they've been making hip hop, and we kind of just want to stand as our own staple, per se. As far as the hip hop influences go, hip hop influences on the market has been so astounding. Like I said, it first stunned everybody when it first came out. A lot of these record label execs didn't know what to do. They didn't know what was in popular demand, and a lot of them kind of like lost out on that whole market. So ever since then, the record labels have been repping themselves with A&R artists to go out there and find what's new, what's hot. That way, they can kind of be ahead of the trend. So this is what I'm encouraging the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame to do, is go ahead and get ahead of the trend. Since hip hop is trending, it seemed to be trending for a while. It's, you might as well go ahead and make a division of the hip hop side of the Hall of Fame. So all of our, featured artists and iconic artists can have a place, to call home and, be inducted with a ceremony. I just think this would be a great rendition to all of the hip hop has done for us. Hip hop is influencing, like I said, influenced clothing market, automobile markets, shoe market, sports market. It's the only form that of music that is really truly versatile, and the reason why I say that is because it crosses over so many different aspects. If you talk to some of the great moguls like Russell Simmons or uh, Puff Daddy, they all knew this at a young age. They knew hip hop was one of the most influential things, and like Russell Simmons said, he had to act on it fast because he knew that this fad was going to cross over in so many different ways. And he definitely was right. Hip hop has reached, a new pinnacle of success and height, and now it's being loved by millions of people all over the world. So I just want to do the right thing here and just give all these artists, their proper recognition. Uh, like I said, some of the moguls, started off when they were young. For example, Simon Puffy Combs started his own entertainment business. He also made it to entrepreneurial status with just, you know, him developing crossover markets as far as clothing, as far as drinks. I know he has champagne, Ciroc, which is on alcohol. So it's just many different ventures and venues that hip hop artists and moguls can go to and influence the regular population. Like I said, it's a revolution kind of going on. So we just kind of want to approach it as such and give some of these great artists the admiration they deserve. Some of the past acts, like I said, include Fab Five, Houdini, Dougie Fresh, Busy B, Biz Markie, Big Daddy Kane, Rakim, etc. The list can go on and on. Some of the current acts that we want to use is, of course, Scarface, Jay Z, Mob Day, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Twist Daddy, Twister, Benny Siegel's Little Kim, Ja Rule, 50 Cent, The Game, Nelly, Ludacris, Swiss Beats, Eve, Chris Brown, Birdman. The list can just go on and on and on. We just want to give all these particular artists a place to stay and a right place to call home as far as, in their creative aspects. We want to honor them and let them know as a society we do appreciate and, honor all the great music that they have given back to us over the years. Um, as far as the hip hop division go, we all would also would like to, represent or pretty much celebrate all of our fallen artists that didn't make it, through violence or just through accidents. We just want to let them know and celebrate all the great artistry and to send love and respect to all of the fallen artists who lost their lives. But still love their craft while doing it. So as far as Lisa Left Eye, Aaliyah, Big Pop, Big, Pac, Big L, all the fallen artists. We just want to recognize them and let them know that they will never be forgotten and that their work was not in vain and that we are still here listening and loving. And we also would love to honor them with the hip hop division of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I believe every genre of music is great, no matter what. No matter what origin, no matter if it's country, rock and roll, R&B, heavy metal, I believe everyone deserves to get recognized for their contributions to society. Open up the hip hop division of the Hall of Fame will not only enhance, and catalog good music, good quality music for the history and generations to come, but it also gives future generation and artists something else to strive for. It gives them, a dream of hope. Maybe they can enter the new division of the Hip Hop Hall of Fame one day. So that's pretty much my idea, and I hope everyone agrees with me and loves this topic about opening up, a Hip Hop Hall of Fame, new division in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I'm perfectly willing to keep it all under one umbrella. Rock and roll one side, hip hop one side, and let's continue to catalog this great music for generations to come. Thank you. My name is Derek Green, and everyone, I wish you the greatness and have a good day. Bye.